Drop the beat.
Welcome to another episode. We're in the folk, and I see Mike's already been commenting, buddy. We're on time. He's a little early.
First time we've ever been on time.
Thank you for joining us, Mike. How's your week been, Morgana?
It's been all right. How about you?
It's been swell.
Yeah.
The government came after me for theirs this time around, but they'll get theirs. I'll pay them.
Yeah, that sucks.
I thought about taking a leave of absence from work. See if I could just serve it out in jail time, but I don't think you're allowed to do that.
I knew this guy one time, and I had not heard of this before until this particular time. He owed like 3 or 4 years of back child support, and they literally made him come spend the night at the jail every night and stay all weekend, and they took him to his job Monday through Friday so he could pay his back child support.
You never heard that before?
I had not at that time.
It happens all the time here.
Yeah, like I said, this has been 25 years ago, probably. And I'm like, he's in jail for what? And like, oh yeah, well, he's only in jail at night. And I'm like, okay, never heard of that before. So,
Where's Tully at tonight?
Tully is doing the family thing. I think his mom came to visit, maybe his aunt. So
I thought his hemorrhoids came back.
Well, that could be code for hemorrhoids. I have family members that I've compared before. So, but yeah. So he's having family time this weekend.
I don't think we are streaming on Rumble.
It's got a check mark by it.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well,
let's see. Yep, you are live. View on Rumble.
Sweet. All right. Tully usually handles all this stuff, so Rumble is new to Morgana and I. So
yes, that is. We'll figure it out though, one way or another, or we'll break StreamYard. Those are the options. Hey, Landa. So what you gonna give us to get going tonight?
Well, the first thing we're going to get started with, what would you do if you went to a buddy's house unannounced? I mean, we used to do this all the time as kids, just show up, didn't call or anything. But now, what would you do if you went and didn't get greeted at all when you knocked? What would you do?
Well, now I wouldn't do it because people are funny about it. But if they weren't home, I'd leave.
Yeah. Well, I like to think I may do the same thing that 46-year-old Michelle Young did.
Yeah.
Michelle Young, let's go ahead and present a picture of her so that you get an understanding of what kind of person she may be. This is Michelle Young. She's 46 years old, and she was roaming the area of Vineyard Street in Burlington, Iowa for about 2 hours, collecting random things such as car tail lights, some tinsel, bark from a tree, and even a yellow lawn flag. When she decided that she's going to stop by her friend's house to show the stuff that she got, the cool treasure she found on her journey that day. So when she approached his house, she noticed that there was a sign that said, "Witches welcome." Being the witch herself, she decided that random stop would be more than welcome. Michelle then knocked 3 times, knock, 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 but there was no answer. So, she decided to take a seat and smoke a cigarette. And then she tried again. When there was no answer on the second attempt, Michelle began to set all the random items that she collected on fire on the porch. Now, I don't know what would cross your mind. Be like, you know what? They ain't answering. I'm just gonna go ahead and burn some stuff on their porch.
Right. and here's the thing. I would never criticize anybody for collecting bark and rocks and stuff like that. But how do you collect tail lights?
and tinfoil and
Right. Yeah. I'm wondering how many people the next day went outside to go to work and realized they had a tail light gone.
no joke. I couldn't
So,
imagine that. I'd be super pissed, more than likely.
yeah, I would too. And so she didn't know these people, right?
No, come to find out, it was not a friend's house at all. It was some random person who was home and terrified, sitting inside, watching her set stuff on fire on the porch.
Okay. I am going to say this. Okay, so she was in Iowa. I'm going to say from the bottom of my heart, please don't try that in the South.
No.
Because most people in the South are going to react differently than these people did.
Now, Landa did ask a legitimate question that I didn't find the answer to. Was it cold out? I don't know. Maybe move it to the yard if you're going to set stuff on fire.
Yeah, maybe.
But Michelle's facing a lot of charges. Reckless use of fire, explosive / destructive devices, which is a serious misdemeanor, and possession drug paraphernalia. And judge has set her bond for $5,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
She does look like a happy person, or maybe just a wee bit deranged.
I think she's just way too happy about finding other witches in the area. She's like, hey.
That could be true. But the drug paraphernalia might have a little bit to do with that expression too.
It could. It very could.
And back in my younger, wilder days, I can honestly say I've done a lot of stuff, but I have never set anybody's porch on fire.
Oh yeah. Well,
I was going to say no. I have almost caught my bed on fire from smoking in bed, but I've never caught anybody else's porch on fire.
I didn't catch a porch on fire, but there was this one time when I was about 17, and I was partaking in hallucinogen, and there was a can of gas, and I sprinkled it on somebody's yard and set it on fire.
Linda, that's my point. Exactly. The happy drugs, and she had tinfoil.
Yeah.
So it could have been real happy drugs. So who's to say? And okay, I would like to preface this with saying you'll probably never hear me go into this type of story again, but I'm going to talk about CERN.
Well, go for it.
So, if you thought the eclipse just really couldn't get any worse, there are beams circulating in the Large Hadron Collider. And this is actually on their website. They decided to modify the optics of the accelerator and to replace them by reverse polarity optics, with the objective of migrating the radiation suffered by some of the magnets. And they have like a set of quadruples in there that focus the beam to very small dimensions at the center of the experiments. Well, some of that debris that's produced by the collision and the traveling and all that good stuff is intercepted by the magnets, and the inner region starts inducing radiation damage to the insulation. So, they say that this is to help extend the life, of the magnets.
I bet they fire up this new stuff on Monday, right?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah, that's really kind of what you're looking at, because, and I know we've touched a little bit on, the 8th and everything, and there's a lot of craziness going on. So you've got my mind just went totally. You've got the eclipse going on.
Yeah.
You have the Devil's Comet. I also heard it called the Green Devil today because it has a green cloud of stuff around it when you look through a telescope. Then there's also this planetary alignment. All 7 planets plus the sun and moon will be in the sky at the time that this eclipse goes on, and they're perfectly aligned.
Really, it sounds like a perfect magnetic storm, really.
Yep.
Like gravitational storm, really. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to it, but maybe nothing will happen. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
That's exactly right. But it's just it's starting to sound a little ominous.
oh yeah, yeah. I don't much care for the what could potentially happen with it, but I don't want to have everybody scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dragon rockets.
There you go. Green dragons.
Yeah. Um. But I don't know. And the reason that they're doing this to the Hadron, well, CERN, is because they said that it could increase the number of collisions too. Ain't that right?
Yes. Yes, that is correct.
So
That
it
is
does
correct.
sound like they're trying to open a portal. What do you think,
Yes.
Stevens, Linda, and Mike? You guys seem to be the only ones joining us.
Yeah, there's a couple more people in there that yeah, no, like I said, it definitely sounds like they're trying to open something. Like I said, I give y'all hell about CERN, but I do listen to you. Yeah, Land, I'll bet. I'm you and Steven also, because I think it's going right over him too.
Yeah. Total
Yeah.
eclipse of the heart happening in the areas.
Yep.
So we'll go into another one that people in this world are kind of crazy. I think we've discussed it 1,000 times. Actually, before we get into this one, let's go to a little segment that we're starting to call "How's It Going with Bowen."
Yeah.
This is a quick hit on it. We talked about the last couple of weeks, all the safety issues and the whistleblower that has been on the live since then. But recently, Dave Calhoun, who's the CEO, has decided that at the end of 2024, he's going to step down amongst the most recent safety scandal. What really makes me mad about this whole thing is anytime that there's something crazy happen that, as far as like safety scandals or any scandal at all they do is take these CEOs and move them to another location. For example, David Calhoun's only been the CEO of Boeing for 4 years, and guess why he was appointed as the CEO?
I don't know.
It was to replace the other CEO after another safety scandal. So, I mean,
Of course it was.
what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. Like, why not fix it? So, but I guess it's easier to just replace CEOs.
Oh yeah.
Now he's going to be stepped down from the CEO of Boeing, but where's he going to be the CEO of next month? Or
Oh
next
yeah.
year?
Well, and the thing is, what it costs like $400 million to make one of those planes.
Something like that.
And, the CEO probably only makes about a couple million a year.
A CEO of Boeing, I bet he makes a generous amount.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those positions I'd probably never be able to find it, because by the time you add all of the incentives and the additions and everything like that. But yeah, they definitely need to fix something, because this is like every few days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to be placing that in the public for everybody to apply for it, though. I'd like to apply for CEO of Boeing. I think I'd do a good job.
No, I want to be the postmaster of Antarctica. That's my dream job.
That'd be fun, but it'd be also fun to take a 4-year job as a CEO and not really do a whole lot, and just know that when you get ready for the next scandal, you're going to be removed, but get that golden parachute,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, okay, yeah, I could see that. If you want to make a quick bit, because I bought my lottery tickets last week for the 1.2 billion, and somebody won it, but it damn sure wasn't me.
It wasn't me either.
Well,
if it was me, I'd still be sitting here, though. So
I would still be sitting here too, but there very few people would know for a fact. You guys would, but yeah, that there would be signs. There would be signs.
But that's currently what's going on with Bowen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Totally actually gave us a little maybe Mandela effect here.
Yeah, that was cool.
What do you want to go over that one?
Oh, it doesn't. I can. Yeah, they have been talking about the color of the sun this week with the upcoming eclipse, and said that the color that we see is not actually the color of the sun, that our atmosphere makes us think that it's yellow, that it's actually a blue-green color, according to NASA.
Like, yes.
Yeah, so like, wouldn't we have learned about this at some point? I
Well,
mean,
you figure all those pictures they take in space would show it, right?
exactly. And isn't it called a yellow dwarf or yellow something like that? I can't remember off the top of my head, but yellow, if I'm not mistaken, is in the name of it.
Something like that. Yeah, I like it. I know they got the red giants and
I've never heard of the cool blue green.
the cool blue green is supposed to be like anything that's blue or white is supposed to be like burning the hottest.
Right.
And growing up, we were specifically taught the reason our sun is orange is because it's burning at this temperature. If it was burning hotter, it would be blue white.
Yeah.
Now it's blue green. Like
it's called a yellow dwarf.
But now, if you Google it, it's blue green.
Yeah. I remember being required to take science for the first 9 years of my schooling, and then I even took astronomy in college and went out. We actually would go out during the day and look at the sun and draw sunspots, what we saw through the telescope and everything. Yeah. And I would even think that through a telescope, you would see some variation. But,
yeah, you would.
No, evidently, blue and green and blue again make yellow because our atmosphere's got a blue color to it from every, scientific, whatever that they've shown me, growing up. So I would think, like I said, if it were blue and our atmosphere leans blue, there's no way in hell you'd see all that yellow.
No. I don't think so either. It's really strange that things like that are changing because what's next? Like, I don't know. It seems like there's some kind of conspiracy just to change everything. But maybe that's why everything's getting hotter. Maybe it's not, global warming. Maybe the sun's just getting hotter.
You've been saving that one up, haven't you? Oh, goodness. Yeah, like I said, I thought that one was that falls pretty good under a Mandela, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, it's a brand new concept, or in my world, it is.
Mine too. So on March 25th, a tragedy took place at the 700 block of G Street in Wasco, California. A pedestrian, which at the time I reviewed this article had not been named, was struck and killed by Amtrak by a train at Amtrak station. Now, as horrific as this is, the actions of one man made the situation a little bit more menacing. A fellow by the name of Resno, Reseno, Tellez.
Yeah,
Racino was arrested soon after the incident occurred, and he was taken because what he had done was he took the person's leg from the scene of the crime. Like, I don't know what would be crossing through your mind if you're walking by and you just see a leg laying. Like, do you grab it or do you just keep walking?
I wouldn't grab it, but a couple weeks ago I heard of a guy named Barbecue down in Haiti that made me start rethinking that.
Now, tell us, he was definitely having the time of his life. There's video footage of it where he's walking down the street and he's just swinging it, having the time. And at times he's hunkered over it and you can't really tell what he's doing. But a concrete worker by the name of Jose Ibarra said, I'm not sure from where, but he walked this way and he was waving the person's leg. And then he went on to say he was biting it as he was hitting it against the wall. So he was chewing on this leg too.
Oh, wow. Damn. Okay. I haven't been that hungry yet. So I can't.
And I don't, we talked about drug use before. Mm-hmm. And it's possible that drugs were involved in the situation. I mean, that's for sure. But what's strange about it is, when I was younger, I did a lot. I did my fair share. Mm-hmm. I never once had the thought of cannibalism truly run through my mind.
I am very happy to hear that.
Yeah.
because I've told you before, if the shit ever hits the fan, I'm headed to your direction. So,
I mean, survival's different.
well, I get that, but I like to think I would not be your first option. We might, have to end up finding somebody else, but I feel like I'd be relatively safe.
I don't know. Like, that just seems like there's more and more stories of cannibalism like this happening across the world, and even here in the United States. Do you think it's just like because of mental health issues that's on a constant rise?
I think that, there's got to be a mental health issue in some way. And I have heard, and I don't necessarily disagree with it, that as you do drugs and you do more drugs, it changes the chemistry of your brain.
Yeah.
I remember when the bath salt thing was going around, there was a guy in Florida, and I'm not even making a Florida man joke, but that literally tried to eat somebody's face off.
He was sober.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, the bath salt thing. Come to find out, after they ran toxicology reports and everything on him, completely sober.
Oh, wow. So he was just insane.
Yeah, he just had something snap. He was a completely normal guy, and then one day he just snapped and chewed the face off somebody.
Wow. Now, Landa, I could see that. Yeah. I've actually known somebody that was off their meds, and the difference between them medicated and not was ridiculous.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I guess maybe, and I could be wrong, but it seems like there's more mental health issues now, but I don't know if it's just that we're so connected that you just hear about it more. Landa, I'll send you some bath salts.
Luckily for me, bath salts came a long way after I had went through my phase.
Yeah.
I would have for sure tried them back then.
No, I probably wouldn't have. I've been making them for so long that, I probably would have avoided the bath salt craze.
Bath salt, the drug is different than the one you put in your bath, I reckon. I think it's somebody. I heard somebody compare it to like runoff from meth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, never did. So, hey, there was something I didn't do.
Now, full disclosure, I did think forever that it was the same thing.
Yeah, I did too, because like I say, I was way past that stage in my life, so I didn't do the research that I'd have done, prior. So
because I was like, do you think that shit can soak in your skin? Because I use that often. Someone's like, no.
Talk about cannibalism around the world and everything. There are still isolated tribes that practice cannibalism.
Oh yeah.
And my understanding is, again, never had the desire, but that cannibalism after a certain amount of time literally makes you insane.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like mad cow disease. Like if you eat your same species, it turns you.
Huh.
Yeah.
So I guess once you've been turned into a vampire, you're no longer human, and that's why it doesn't bother you.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
I like to be. My wife truly wants to become a vampire, and she asked me if I'd become a vampire with her if it was ever an option, and I was like, I don't think I would.
No, I've never had the desire to live forever. Yeah, no. I just don't. Especially if things keep going down the road they're going, things are insane. So,
even right now, sometimes I wake up and I go, damn it.
Yeah, see, no, I need you to be around. I need you to be around. But, I like you. So, all right, well.
We got plenty. Totally will decide not to be here, but he sent a shitload.
Yeah, and well, no, that's what I was just sitting here looking at. They were talking about the city of Pittsburgh, the police department will now only respond to late night emergencies if they're in progress.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I kind of wondered that too. But according to the local news, the staffing shortages of the department are forcing them to reduce the number of officers on duty between the hours of 3 a.m. to 7 a.m.
Huh.
So instead, there will be call boxes linked to 911 installed for emergencies, since there won't be an officer at the front desk during those hours.
So they
And
don't
said,
like have a 911 staff
no,
since
no,
nice.
no 911. They are down to 22 officers for the entire city
Of
at,
Pittsburgh?
at night. Yes. Now, they've lost 200 officers since 2020 because of resignations and budget cuts, but there are still 750 officers
And 22
and,
for night.
and 22 for the night.
Mm.
So, people in Pittsburgh, if you really want to do your worst, 3 a.m. till 7 a.m.
3 a.m. to 7 a.m. That's the
Yep.
time to get new TVs.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, send us one.
Yeah.
We won't tell.
Well, I mean, that's what's happening in San Francisco, except it's during the day too. Like they don't even report robberies anymore. So like businesses are shutting down left and right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's going to happen in a lot of these cities. It's just going
Mhm.
to keep getting worse and worse to where they're not prosecuting people stealing, not trying to apprehend them, not really doing anything about it. And commerce is just going down. It's going to spread to the country, and then violence is going to occur because people around here in the country don't put up with bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I did see too that, Amazon at one point had these stores that you could walk in, get your stuff, and walk out, and it just scans you going in and out, and
Mhm.
it bills your credit card. They're shutting those down. And of course, there really wasn't a reason, but I would have to think that, theft is a pretty damn good reason, because that would be easy to get around.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
I wish they had that around here.
yeah, right. Yeah, but see, I'd feel guilty. I'd pay. I mean, I know me, but it just amazes me that, anybody ever thought that that was a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we actually have stores that are getting rid of the self checkout because of it.
Really, I think all Walmarts are trying to do that. Like, to use self checkout moving forward, you're going to have to be a Walmart Plus member.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, ain't it amazing? Like they did all this to save money, but the theft is just way too high, and they're losing so much now.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. It's all big racket.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It is. It is. Well, this one I just thought was really cool. Said that there's this neurological condition that makes people's faces distorted like a demon.
Now I know a guy that's actually from the place of somebody that's suffering from this.
Wow, really?
A sharp-eyed Clarksville, Tennessee resident by the name of Victor Sharaz.
Mm-hmm.
His life changed one day in November 2020 when out of nowhere faces began to appear as though they morphed into demonic form.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is pretty crazy looking. Let me get this pulled up. What happens is this is what their face would normally look like, but to him, the faces are where the ears, nose, and mouths are stretched back, and there are deep grooves in their foreheads, cheeks, and chins.
Hey, Gigi.
And it just makes them look like they're like goblins or something, or demonics. He said that after whenever it first occurred, he felt like he woke up in a demon world, is what the 59-year-old told everybody. This is something. He was referred to somebody that teaches people with visual impairment, who said that he must have prosopomorphopsia. I probably mispronounced it, but it's known as PMO. And apparently, what it is just what you were saying. It's a neurological disease that can distort shape, size, color, and position of facial features. I don't know about you, but if I woke up one day and everybody looked like this, I don't know if I would say anything about it, because it's truly like a they live situation in a way. What do you think about it? You got guessed? But anyway, now in the research with other PMO cases, the co-authors state that some of their PMO participants have seen health professionals who wanted to help but diagnosed them with another health condition, not PMO. And so I don't know about you all, but this right here, if I woke up one day and it looked like this, what would you all do? What would you do, Landa? What would you do, Mike, if you seen something like this when you woke up? Would you go around telling people about it, or would you go back to bed and hope it wasn't real? Hmm. What about you, Morgana? You're still on mute.
That's why you're ignoring me, damn it.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here just going on and on and on, going, he's just talking over me. So I'd like to apologize to you. So, no, I would, okay, first it would be circumstances because, like, we've discussed the fact that, I was not always the perfect person that I am today. So, if I had seen something like this back then, I would go, okay, I'm not ever doing that shit again.
No.
No, that was the drug. That's it. I'm done. But
Yeah.
if I did it now, I don't know. I wouldn't tell anybody. I might tell you guys, when we're doing our like pre or post thing. But because y'all would laugh at me regardless. So I'm good there. But I can't imagine
No.
just all of a sudden seeing something like that. I mean, I'm an avid reader, and some of the shit I've read over the years, it would be like, I remember reading about this in that book by such and such. It was real. They weren't making it up. It's crazy.
I don't know why I would do either. Like, there's just no way. I feel like I just wouldn't say anything and just go about it like whatever. This is the world now.
Right. And I do wonder, is it that, are they seeing every single person that way, or does it like morph in and out? Or
if it morphed in and out, I would trip out because at that time, have you ever seen the movie with Bill Paxton where he's like the God's hand killer?
Oh, was that Jacob's Ladder?
No, it's got that. All right. What's his name? Matthew
McConaughey.
What's Frailty?
Oh, yeah. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, that was a creepy ass movie.
Yeah. I would fall deeply into that mindset. Be like, man, these people are demons. I would fully believe that.
Like, yeah.
Somebody chose me to see these people like this.
Yeah. I mean, because like I said, and the thing about it is you might could be right.
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say, like, say, all the conspiracy theorists out there. A friend told me recently, oh, it's a conspiracy until we prove it's right.
Exactly.
So
that's always true. And conspiracies are coming true every day. So
yes, they are. But that's so scary.
There's actually totally put something about a pretty decent conspiracy in here that has to do with the internet. Let me find it. Come on now. I don't know. Tuesday I got pretty sick, and then it went away, and now I feel like it's coming back.
That's not good.
So, federal investigators have ordered Google to provide information on all viewers of select YouTube videos. They want the information for people watching certain videos according to multiple court orders. Now this is scary.
Yes.
It's unconstitutional because they're threatening to turn innocent YouTube video viewers into criminal suspects, essentially. Like, YouTube automatically plays other videos, so if you pass out watching YouTube and you've accidentally watched one of these videos, you could be a criminal.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I hate this to admit this, but that happens to me regularly on stuff. I mean, I'll just sit there and have it on for background noise and then walk away, and come back 3 hours later and YouTube is on something totally unrelated to what I had it on when I started.
Yeah. So the United States law enforcement has been asking Google, who watches certain YouTube videos covering as many as 30,000 people per video.
Wow.
They want their names, addresses, telephone numbers, and user activity for all Google accounts who watch the videos within a certain week's time frame. and the IP addresses of everyone who watched the video without a Google account. I kind of get like how this could be good if there's certain things on YouTube that maybe portrays harming children, you know, or stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that,
Yeah.
and catching people like that. But there's other things too, like stuff we talk about sometimes that they don't want people spreading what they call false information.
Right.
You know,
Well, we always, or we try to regularly throw out, oh, by the way, we're just throwing information out there. You do your research,
yeah,
but that doesn't mean that they're not going to automatically assume, well, you're the one who started people looking here.
yeah,
And I agree with you. There are some things, yeah, they should definitely know, but how do you differentiate?
yeah,
Because there was a girl my husband knew, and I'm going to just point blank say it tickled the hell out of me. There was a pedophile on Facebook ranting on a video, and instead of her reporting it, she reposts it with a comment, look at all this crap that they let on here, or something like that. Well, because she shared it, they shut down her account. At the time, this girl was using her Facebook to keep all of their pictures. Every picture she had of her kids was on her Facebook account. She lost it all.
yeah.
Because when they shut it down, they shut it down. I'm like, well, it's hard to be sympathetic towards that, because what the hell are you doing sharing that shit? But like I said, yeah, that just opens it up so much more. If they start in one place, how far does it go?
Yeah. And I feel like it's all attached to this active. There's several different things, but I feel like there is probably a connection to where they're wanting to shut down TikTok for good.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't know, they're saying that they're wanting to shut TikTok down because it's getting everybody's data,
Yeah.
and selling it to China is basically what they're saying. The Chinese has all our data. Totally included a graph here, and I thought this was interesting on the personal data collected in percentages. Now, as you can see, TikTok is way down here, right here at 28. Why are they not shutting down any of this other stuff?
You mean like the big ones, like Instagram and Facebook and Messenger and Threads?
Yeah, like they got everything in the world here. Like,
yeah.
Uber Eats,
right?
collects more data than TikTok.
DraftKings, Sportsbook, and Casino. Yeah.
DoorDash, like, I don't understand why they're specifically going after TikTok, and it's because it's I know why it is, but it's because it's the last place where you can go on there and you can actually have the true free speech that everybody always wanted. And like, YouTube coming up, if you wanted to see a lizard person walk, play basketball, you could Google it and then pop up on YouTube. You can't find stuff like that anymore.
No.
And it's further censorship is what they're going for.
Well, and that, yeah, I agree with that 100%, because I can remember when I first got on the internet, and, to give my age away, it was back when you paid by the hour, but it was also, the stuff I could find back then on the subjects we talk about was huge, and it would just, they had this little plug-in you could get back then called Stumble On. You click the button and it would throw you somewhere random. I didn't need that because I did my own stumbling, I'd start somewhere like, looking up Atlantis and end up, down 47 rabbit holes.
Yeah.
But the information was awesome, and you didn't question it like you do now.
No.
I mean, what was it? Ask Jeeves and Lycos for the two big, search engines.
Yeah. Yeah, they were fun. But StumbleUpon was awesome, by the way. I really thought that. StumbleUpon was probably one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it was damn sure. It was cool, like I said, but and it was one of those things. It was one of the first add-ons that I remember ever having. Just click the button and it was like a damn roulette wheel. Where am I going to end up next, and everything. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that that's 99% of it is that they are just trying to censor it. I did hear that they're trying to force them into selling it.
TikTok. if they sell it, they'll be selling it to, one of the alphabet agencies probably, and
Uh-huh.
censorship will come. Right.
Oh yeah. It'll be just like everything else.
I get censorship in a way, like going back to the children thing. Like, you don't want things like that on public things that are easy to access, of course,
Hmm.
but they don't get rid of it.
No,
Like,
no.
like it's apparently it seems to be easier to find shit like that than it is to find something about cryptid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why is that?
Yeah. No, you're exactly right, because then it validates them. If they can show you the worst of the worst, and keep it coming, then people are scared. Whereas, if I go look for a cryptid or whatever, then that's something they're not able to control, from what I believe and for what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But like I said, because I'm that firm believer in it's my job to censor my children, but I can't be with them 24/7. They're going to be at school, the library, at friends' houses, and stuff like that. So, I get it. I get them wanting to make it safer, but they're not doing that.
No, they're really not. Like, uh, and they're pushing it so much to the forefront. Like, there's always been that thing, like putting people's names out that's committed mass murders and things like that kind of glorifies them.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yep.
you got crazy people everywhere that when they see something like, oh, that's pretty cool, I'd like to do something like that someday.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're not everybody, of course, but you got them people like fucking somebody shot John Lennon because he read Catcher in the Rye. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's we had a child down here recently that ended herself, and it was supposedly from bullying and everything. The other children were taken out of school, and they ended up letting them back in because they never, as bad as bullying it is, it did not cross that line to where they felt like they pushed the other child into it. Well, of course, you've got this certain group that has posted these people's home addresses, their phone numbers, their names, and I'm like, they're still kids.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is not any better than what, these children are being accused of.
Yeah.
And everything. So, like I said, and those are the same people who get on their high horse about, the internet, not being safe and everything else. Well, then quit being part of the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think we've got through 40 minutes better than we have with Tully. Tully drags us down.
Does he drag us down?
Yeah, he drags us down.
But he comes up with some damn good stories.
He does. He does.
So we'll let him do the research. How about that?
But thank you all for tuning in, and of course we'll be going live in less than 20 minutes on the Weird Realities Network.
Yes.
With Weird Awakenings, like we do every Friday at 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern time. So go ahead and hop on over there if you ain't got nothing else to do tonight. What are we covering tonight?
We are talking about the Bhagavad Gita. We're going to call it the Gita.
Yeah. Now, I tried to research for this.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you guys got research.
Well, it's
behind it, like,
it's okay. We're just going to kind of touch on what it is and everything. This, and I'm in no way, pushing the buck, but this was one that Hadley had wanted to talk about originally, but because of everything going on with her right now, she couldn't join us. Had I thought about it, I'd have rescheduled, and that way she could have been with us. And we may still do it again with her with us.
And Tully would have probably had some information about it too. So,
yeah.
So it sounds like it's going to be Morgana, Steven, and I going in the ditch a lot tonight.
We're so good at ditching.
Yeah. So come on over and check out everything weird at Weird Realities Network. Watching Weird Bonds,
Books, and Campfire Tales.
All kinds of stuff, all kinds of neat stuff. And thank you for watching us, because we're watching you, and we're gonna take us out of here.
All right.